5, 4.
Alright, good evening guys, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to give you guys a little brief on Afghan culture. Hopefully we learn something from it, so when we go out and work with our counterparts, you know, we can keep it in mind. My name's Joshua Groetsch, and so do any of you happen to know when Independence Day is for Afghanistan?
August 19th. August 19th.
Today. Alright, good job. So it was 99 years ago today, whenever Afghanistan and Britain signed the Anglo-Afghan peace treaty. So just a little fun fact for the day. Alright, so we're here just to give you guys, like I said, a little overview of Afghan's culture, just so we can go and use it with our counterparts. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to define culture so we all understand it. And according to Merriam-Webster, culture is the set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices. Alright, so the overview, what I'm going to go over is the do's and don'ts in Afghan culture, marriage, and religion. So, nonetheless, let's get started with that. Before I do, most of the information that I got is actually from 123independenceday.com and culturalatlas.com. Alright, so the do's and don'ts. First, the do nots. So, we do not want to disrespect any Afghans whenever you're in like in front of a large group, because their honor is kind of takes away from their honor, and they can actually go as far as, you know, lethal action and try to kill you. Next one is we don't want to call Afghans Arabs, Afghanis, or Middle Easterns, because they're actually none of those things. Afghani is money. They're not Arabs because they're not from the Middle East. Afghanistan is in Southeast Asia, so just call them Afghans, and that's it. Alright, so the do's. Some of the do's you want to do before you can take pictures with Afghans, you want to ask for their permission. It's kind of a courtesy, especially whenever women are involved. Next, a lot of us, being in the Army, like to dip. Dipping's not a problem in their culture. Spitting on the ground may be a problem, and spitting in the bottles may be a problem as well. So you want to, before you decide to spit into a bottle, you might want to ask if it's okay with them, because they reuse bottles. They don't have like the commodities and amenities like we do, so they reuse bottles a lot. So it's kind of disrespectful sometimes. Alright, nonetheless, we're going to marriage. So the first thing for marriage, whenever somebody is asking, a man is asking a woman to for marriage, is he has to ask is the bride-to-be's family for acceptance or approval. So it's called a marriage proposal, and that's what they do. They'll send a marriage proposal to the family, and then from there, if they accept, the bride's family will send chocolates to the groom's elders, and immediately culture is that they'll start eating it. And then so in Afghan culture, there's a bride price. It's not free to get married, just like it isn't in America, but you actually have to pay. The groom's family has to pay the bride's family money to marry the person. Okay. And this is actually called, in Pashtun, it's called wal war, and in Dari-speaking people, it's called sherbaha. And then marriage arrangements for in Afghanistan is usually dictated by the family members. Like the bride and the groom to be don't really get to much say in it. Traditionally, at least, it might be a little bit different now, but traditionally, it's usually the family members' choice in that matter. So on to the next thing is religion. Kind of is a big deal in all of Afghanistan, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, all in this area. Religion is a big deal. So in Muslim country, or in Muslim, their religion, they pray 5 times a day. And according to culturalatlas.com, almost all Afghans living in Afghanistan, they are Muslim, so 99.7%. The major 2 denominations of Muslim is Sunni and Shia, approximately 90% being Shia. In And then, but really, the two only major differences in Sunni and Shia is their opinion on when the Prophet Muhammad died and who preceded him. Really, those two only major, or the only major difference between the two different denominations. But it is a major deal in their culture and their religion. So that's all I really have for it. Just so we understand, I just wanted to get with you guys, kind of give you a little brief on culture, so when we go out to work with our partners and stuff like that, we can kind of use this and make sure we're not doing anything that's offensive. Just to review what we went over the do's and don'ts of Afghan culture, we went over marriage, we went over religion. That's all I have. Thank you guys.